So thank you really very much for this introduction. I'll join you in a minute. I wanted actually also to introduce the gentleman with me on the panel. Anyway, Bruno is from OIV, from Croatia, and he is the head of the Broadcasting Development Department. Rafael is president of Towercast, so welcome Rafael, and Jérôme Hirigoyen is the head of International Radio Business Development. And I think, well, my name is Wolter. I work for a network operator in Italy, and I'm in charge of developing and rolling out the national DAB network with my colleagues. And I think we are all very much interested and focused on the rollout and the development and the improvement of DAB networks. So we just don't build them, we really try to make them the future. And over the past years, I mean, I've been in this business for ages now, and we moved from a situation where there was basically no DAB coverage. And everybody was saying, no, there's no point in doing DAB, there's no coverage. Why should we put DAB receivers in the cars? There's no coverage. And so it was really an issue at the time. And if I look back from now, I say, wait, nowadays in all in the most important countries, we have a really good coverage. And that's amazing. I mean, in 10 years, we changed completely the broadcasting landscape. And I mean, really, there are a number of countries like France, the UK, Italy, Switzerland, Norway, where the coverage is as good probably as FM was, or even in some places maybe better, because of course DAB has some technical advantages over this. We got receivers. We have solved the chicken and egg problem, and that's also a big result of, let's say, the rollout of the networks. And the receivers have become much better, so the user experience has improved dramatically. If we think 12 years ago, service following was not working. It was really difficult. Antennas were not so performing. Now we have really, really good products on the market. And so we have seen a big improvement. And yeah, having said that, I must say network operators will really take their part in this and trying to improve the rollout and the development of the network. So I sit here, and the first question I have to you three and also to myself is there a specific region, a reason why you think that the road coverage of DAB, of course, is important in your country? So, Bruno, yes, you're the first one.
I think we all agree that road coverage is very, very important. And this is, I think, especially important for developing DAB Plus markets like in Croatia. In Croatia, in general, radio consumption in cars prevails of the other methods of radio listening, and it's especially true for the DAB Plus platform. Because of the EECC, or thanks to the EECC, the number of cars equipped with DAB Plus receivers grows very fast, much faster than the sales of the domestic radio receivers. So, that's the main reason why it's important to have a good road coverage. And we, as a network operator, we are focused. We know that, and we are focused to provide that good coverage. And I think we have succeeded in that. This is the coverage map of Croatia. You can see that the coverage is pretty good.
Okay, yeah, Rafael. So, what's your point of view on this?
As we seen this morning, the huge percentage of listeners in car. It's very, very important to have good coverage of the motorway and the national roads, especially in France. Charlie Monelbon this morning was showing the fact that you go from Paris to Marseille without lose your favorite program. You can go then to Nice or to Toulouse, and the DAB Plus offer a real possibility to have good quality and good continuity on the road. So it's very important to have good networks and, of course, to have good receivers in cars to have a good listeners quality.
Okay. Jérôme, you want to add something to Raphael on France?
I think all have been said, but of course, just mention we are in an automotive event, and the connection between listener is very important. I mean, the automotive sector and broadcaster automotive sector is very important, and we have to make a lot of efforts all together to have a nice coverage, but to have program and to receive, you know, the contents in car.
Okay, good. I think just looking at Italy, we had a very interesting development, because when I was referring to, let's say, 12 years, 15 years ago, we had this chicken and egg issue, and we really tried to break this circle, building out on the highways. So we tried really to offer to the car industry a landscape where their customers could use DAB basically on the long highway trips immediately. So we built up a quite significant coverage in just a few months, just to have the first basic step done. So I think this was very important at that time. So just to come back to Croatia and Bruno, do you have any coverage obligations in Croatia? Maybe we can go back to the slide. This one, yeah.
Yeah. We had a coverage obligation when we started the regular operations of the network. That was an obligation from our regulator. We had to achieve 90% of the population covered with mobile reception. And that was the network start. That was in early 2022. But since then we had several network extensions, and now we have 36 sites in operation, and we have a very good coverage. Over 98% of the population is covered, and more than 98% of the motorways are covered, and which is also important for us, because of we are a touristic country, and a lot of people from Europe come to the vacation with cars to Croatia. So that's another angle that is it's very important. So yeah, we have long surpassed that first obligation, and now we're good.
Okay, yeah. So Raphael, concerning France, how is the coverage going? Because I heard really you're working very swiftly, very quickly. Maybe you want to...
Yeah. Today, as you can see...
do you have an obligation in France?
Yes,
actually?
we will see the obligation just after this slide. But today we have, for the two main national MUXes, we have 80% at the end of this year, 80% of the population. As we look at on these maps at 46 dB. So in mobility, we have a coverage of the main motorway, 10,000 kilometers of motorway, and all the motorway, all the road, national road of Brittany. So yes, we have a very nice coverage for this year, 2026. And to answer your question about the objective, yes, radios as objectives. As you can see, the objective as given by the French authority, ARCOM. For example, here for the national MUXes, every 2 years they have to increase their coverage. But what we can say today is that we have started in end of 2021, and less than 5 years after that, we have 80%. So that was the objective for more than 8 years after the beginning. And then the radios and the multiplex operator choose the best solution to cover the cities, indoor mobility, and to cover the motorway and the road between this city with a mix of TDF and TOACA solution with high power, high mass, and medium mass.
Yeah. Okay, to go on with this, Jerome, can you tell us a little bit more about the approach you have in France to the coverage of the highways and of the road network, and how your customers can choose, let's say, between the sites, the operators? It's a very interesting environment, actually.
Yes, I will introduce here a different approach we are today implemented to cover the road with high tower and low tower. Low tower is, as you can see on the left, it's a regular tower you can find along the motorway to get to targeting on the highway with a very nice coverage, very accurate on the way. And here I just introduce a site which is very specific. His name is Pic du Midi. Is located in the south of France, in the border of Spain. As you can see, it's very high altitude because it's 2,880 meters high. We share the place with observatory, so we are close to the star, we must say. But as you can see, we have here a different approach. On the left, we need to cover a corridor with several small transmitters. And on the right, you can see the coverage with a very high transmitter. It's only 10 kilowatt IRP. But it's, what is very interesting, we cover the road, but we cover also the secondary road. In this area, people are living in a small town, and they need a connection with the big cities, and they need connection. So it's very interesting for mobile and radio services. The connection is very nice. So I don't want to continue on a technical view, but my purpose here is to show that the mobile coverage is really on the heart of the broadcaster, and my topic is going to the automotive sector. Be confident, we are making the best for mobile coverage.
Okay, yeah. Very, very good. I agree very much with you, Jerome. Can I have a clicker? Thank you. I go to Italy. For the perspective, I changed the rotation of Italy because it fits better on the slide. The funny thing is it's rotated only by 45 degrees. Usually you think Italy is like this, but actually it's like this. It fits badly on slides. Anyway, this is Italy. Very important is the road network. This is all the major roads in Italy. And when we build out our network, if you look at the coverage we build, and this is valid for, let's say, our operator, WorldDAB Italia, but basically also for the other national operators, we more or less move in the same direction, of course. You can really see how much how much we are really focused on the road coverages, and of course also where the people are. But in Italy, for example, radio consumption in cars is very, very high. So over 70% of the radio usage is done in cars. And so we really focus on cars and on the road coverage. So it's basically a natural evolution. So it's a direction we must go, and we are really focused on improving the road coverage here to avoid. Let me just add something. Actually, the real coverage is much better because when you do the planning tools are never as precise as actually they should be. So you lose a lot of SFN gain options and refractions, etc. So the coverage is really very much better. Okay, so looking at this, Bruno, is there any specific technical aspects? I mean, we heard from Jerome, they have this high tower, high-power approach to guarantee extensive coverage. Do you have a specific technique you use in Croatia to give a good road coverage?
Well, I wouldn't say it's some specific strategy. It's just some logical steps. We started also with high-power, high-tower sites to achieve the population coverage, the obligation from the regulator. But then focus immediately after that shifted to the roads. So we identified the roads according to the categories, you know, motorways first, then the state roads, then all the other roads. We saw where the gaps are in the motorways and in the state roads, and we have put the smaller transmitters to fill in those gaps. And it's filled now, and now we are looking for the future investments into the less important roads, the rest of the road coverage. So basically, that's the strategy.
Okay. Looking at the car industry, we often get a request for test routes where manufacturers can verify certain behavior of the network, of the car receivers. Do you have, or do you prepare, do you work with the car industry on these test routes in order to offer something specific?
Well, to be honest, in Croatia, no. We are a small country and small market, and we are not in the focus of car manufacturers up till now. So, but we are ready to support in any way we can. We have not just predictive coverage. We have measurement vehicles. We check our coverage. We do the measurement mobile campaigns. We have data for that. We have publicly available data for the coverage, and we can share that with anyone who is interested. So we are ready to support.
Okay. Raphael?
Yes, we try to have a different meeting with the car industry. With the Association Ensemble pour le DAB+, we have a working group specialized on the automotive. And this last month, we met Stellantis. We've been to Stellantis, and we met also Renault. And we hope to meet also other manufacturers to share experience, to involve them in the deployment, in the evolution of the rules, of the norm, to have a good satisfaction of the listeners. Because as we said already, we try to build good networks, especially for mobility, and we need a good receiver. We don't need only radio, we need good receiver. That means easy to use and good antenna and so on, to have a good experience. Yeah. So yes, we want to work with the automotive industry.
Yeah. And TDF, are you doing something with the car industry directly? Are you involved in developing test routes or these aspects?
Not particularly. No, sorry.
No, well, it's because, for example, in Italy, we have always been very open to the car industry, but it's pretty complicated, actually, to draft a test route when you have a network which is very much expanding, so you never have a status quo, basically, because you have always adding transmitters, changing frequencies, adding new services. It's very complicated.
But as we are together members of the Association Ensemble pour le DAB+, we spoke the same language with everybody. We have a common objective.
Okay, so we have...
Today the work is mainly carried by the Ensemble pour le DAB+, which is a group providing, making efforts with car manufacturers, but also all the radio community.
Okay, so we have 30 seconds. Is there a question from the audience? Or I have also one question, but it's... there's a question. Yes?
Sorry, not a question, more like a hint. You are talking about the motorways. please don't forget the huge amount of tunnels. It is very often, especially in mountainside, that the tunnels are missed and no coverage on that. So yes, I know it can't be done at one day, but don't forget them when you're showing motorways are covered. They are often not complete.
Yeah, maybe I take the first part. In Italy, we have something like 6,000 kilometers of highway, and on 3,000 of these, which are managed by one company, we have 640 tunnels for a length of 422 kilometers, and 250 of these are longer than 500 meters. So it is an issue. And we are really keen to solve this point because it's, of course, it's really important for the user experience. And so I agree completely with Frank. It's important. We should not forget it. But it's a really big and hard job. So we are working on it from Italy. I think also I look at Bruno and Jerome. I think it's really important.
Comment. Of course, we work on it, but it's very. We know that tunnel. It's very important. We have made a discussion with broadcaster, but it's very difficult with tunnel owners, with administrative and so on. So we have some pilots to start this, and there's also a cost effect to cover this tunnel. But be sure we work on it, and I hope in the next few years we can open more and more tunnels with a good technical solution.
Yeah. Okay, Jerome, Raphael, Bruno, thank you very much.
you.
And okay, we can go on. Thank you.
Thank you so much.